If you own or manage a restaurant, in the next several minutes, I'm going to show you one of the most powerful moves in selling. It is the exact one that the biggest brand use over there every single day. And I don't mean more customers or more marketing or spending on ads. I mean getting a little more from people who are already sitting in your restaurant. And that's exactly the money most restaurants just leave behind. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. I want you to think about McDonald 5 simple words. Do you want fries with that? And here is the part most people miss. McDonald barely making money on the burgers. The real profit is in the fries and the drink. And that one little question over there, it is the one who helped them to make a lot of money. And that's exactly what we call upsell. And every restaurant can do it. But the problem here, it's almost every one of them barely using it. So, my name is Abdellah. I built an AI and marketing agency for independent restaurants. We probably built full online system a restaurant needs. So the managers stay focused in the kitchen while it's all running in the background. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact upsell you can use in your restaurant. And also I'm going to give you some real example you can start implementing them this week. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you will have a full playbook in your hand. And now, with that being said, let's dive into it. Okay, so we are going to start simple and we're going to start with a clear definition of what is the upsell. So the upsell is every time you solve one problem for a customer, a new problem automatically appears. And that problem will be solved by another offer you provide. So your customer have a problem, you give them a solution for that problem, and this solution you give them, it automatically generates another problem. And that new problem will be solved by another offer you provide. And that's exactly what the upsell means. And the thing here is most of the time the upsell is where the real profit is. So I'm going to give you a small example here to understand exactly what I'm talking about. For example, let's say, so the first problem here is your customers are hungry, they order a burger. And the second problem that appears from the solution you give them first, it's the burger is dry. There is no drink. They need something with that burger. And that's exactly when the upsell comes, when the solution comes to solve the second problem that was generated by the first one. And here you are going to provide for them a cold drink to solve for them the second problem. And that's exactly what the upsell means. So yes, here is a clear definition to keep in your mind. Solving the first problem created the next one. And solving that next one, which is in this case the drink, that's exactly what the upsell means. And the thing here is there are only 3 things you can upsell. First of all, you can upsell more of the same thing they've got. For example, you are going to sell more of what they already want. For example, if your customer order 1 scoop of ice cream, you are going to make it 2. And the second thing you can upsell, it's better. For example, you are going to sell them a better version of the same thing. So here's an example. Let's say they order a house wine. You are going to suggest for them something better. And the last thing you can upsell, it's a new thing. So you are going to sell them something new that goes with it. For example, if they order a burger, you are going to suggest for them some fries or a soda or something like that, whatever. That's exactly the 3 things how you can use upsell. First of all, it's more of the same thing. The second thing, it's a better version of the thing. And last but not least, it's a new thing. Okay, now I'm going to show you a different way you can actually do this inside your restaurant. So we have here 2 types of upsells. This is the most common upsells over there specifically for a restaurant industry. First of all, is the classic upsell. So the classic upsell means right after the customer orders, you are going to offer the next thing they need. So this one, it probably solved the next problem the first order just created. It's like the same burger example I mentioned previously. And they have some more example here. For example, if they order a rich, heavy dish, but they don't have a drink, then you are going to suggest something like soda or wine or whatever, I don't know. Yes, the key fundamental here and the thing that I want you to deeply understand, it's you need to provide something that will solve the second problem that was created by the solution you give them first. So if they are hungry and they order the burger by itself is dry, you need to solve that problem for them by suggesting something like soda or whatever. That's exactly what the classic upsell means. And they have here some pro tips you can use them. For example, you can give something free that created next need and then sell what solved it. And this one is one of the most common strategies that a lot of restaurants use. So this technique was invented by American bars. They used to give a free lunch but heavy salted, and the salt made people thirsty, so they bought more beer. And that's exactly what I mean by giving something for free that create next need. So they give a heavy salted for free, and that heavy salted create next need, which is they felt thirsty and they need something to drink. So they felt thirsty and they bought more beers, and this one worked so well. That's exactly what I mean by giving something for free that created next need. And another pro tip here I want you to keep it in your mind is I want you to lead with your highest profit items and never skip the ask. So for example, if 2 things could be added, I want you to offer the one that brings the most profit for you. In another word, if you offer something and that thing reveals the problem that will be solved by the next thing you offer, and you have 2 things to offer, I want you to offer the thing that will bring you the most profit. So yes, that was classic upsell, and it is one of the most common upsells that a lot of restaurants over there use. Now we're going to move directly to the next one over here, which is the menu upsell. Okay, so the second type of upsell is the menu upsell. And what this one means, it's the menu upsell. It's when you guide the customer's choices instead of just taking their orders. So you are going to tell them what to skip, and then you tell them exactly what to get. And here is one thing I want you to keep in your mind. This one is for the ones who confused, who don't know what they want. So the menu upsell goes like this. First of all, you are going to unsell. You are going to tell them what to skip. For example, when a waiter say what not to order, the customer drops their guard and trusts everything else. And the second step is you are going to prescribe. It's like your waiters, they are positioning themselves as the doctors, and they prescribe. They tell them exactly what to get. And as I've mentioned before, the reason why this one it will work, because your waiters have a kind of authority. They know the most common dishes inside your restaurant, so they have more authority and more knowledge what people like. And here I'm going to give you some examples to understand exactly what I'm talking about. For the example number one, let's say for example someone's ordered a steak. Instead of just bringing water, your waiter is going to say something like this: with that steak, skip the soda and have a glass of our house ready instead. It goes perfectly. And again, as I've mentioned before, your waiters have a authority. They know exactly what people like and what people don't like. They know exactly what is the most dishes people order most of the time. So they have a kind of authority, and that will tip the odds in your favor. So here is some pro tips I want you to keep it in your mind. Number one, I want you to prescribe your high profit dishes. For example, when your waiters recommend something, they don't just pick any dish. They probably point them to the ones where you make the most profit. So yes, if two dishes are equally good for the customer, your waiters should always suggest the ones that pay you more. And this one will tip the odds in your favor, and it will help you to make more profit. And for the second pro tip I want you to keep it in your mind is I want you to make anything A-B. What I mean by that, it's never ask yes or no. Your waiters should never ask yes or no, because if they ask if they want this one or not, here it's like you invite a no answer. So you should always give two choices. For example, instead of asking do you want water or no, yes or no, you need to ask do you want one bottle or two bottles. And that's one gimmick, believe me, it's going to make you a lot of profit. And I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to really implement this one inside your restaurant, and then you are going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. So guys, here is one thing I want you to really keep it in your mind. The biggest lose is the offer you never made. And here's an example over here to understand exactly what I'm talking about. Let's say for example you offer a $1,000 offer to a $100 customer. What's going to happen here is you are going to only lose $100, but in another side, for example, if you offer a $100 offer to a $1,000 customer, if you sell a $100 thing to someone who can afford a $1,000, here you are going to lose $900. And that's exactly why you need to always make the bigger offer, because you never know how much someone came to spend. So yes, if there is one thing I want you guys to walk with from this video, it's you need to always ask. Always ask others to spend more, because here's the thing, the second worst thing that can happen if you ask someone to spend more is they say no. But the worst thing that can happen is they would have said yes, but you never ask it. And yes, I want you to always keep that in your mind. And here is last thing I want to mention here before I shut down this camera. So probably this is one of the most common problem that a lot of managers struggle with, because the thing here is your servers are paid by the hours, and in their mind, upselling only help you as a manager. It's not them. So what happened here is they don't bother themselves, because your servers are actually the one who will do upsell. It's not you, the manager. This is not your work. And the thing here, as I've mentioned before, your servers are paid by hours, and in their mind, upselling only help you as a manager, only help the restaurant to make a lot of profit. It's not them. What's going to happen here is they don't bother themselves doing upsell. So here is one thing a lot of our clients use, and it works really well for them. You are going to run a simple monthly competition. However lands the most upsell on your high profit dishes wins $500 prize. This is one of the most genuine way to trigger competition between your waiters, and each individual one of them will try to upsell more than the other one to win $500 at the end of the month. So yes, what's going to happen here, as I've mentioned before, the whole team starts competing, which automatically means the sales will go up and you are going to make more profit. So yes, that's all what is it in this video. My name is Abdellah, and I appreciate you watching until this point. Take care of yourself.